It is 7:30 p.m. and we are here for our regularly scheduled city council meeting. I would like to hereby call this meeting to order. We're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then we're going to remain standing for words of inspiration.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We're going to have one brief moment of words of inspiration. Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for your protection over our community. We are grateful that we have come through an election season, and we are so thankful for each individual who gave of their time and their hearts to put their name in to serve for our community. Today, we have people who are on one side and people are on another side, but Lord, we're all in this together. And I just ask that you bless each life that's willing to serve in this community, that you continue to make this community prosper. We thank you for each person who serves, whether they be an employee, our public safety team, our people at our DPW, our library, Parks and Rec, here at City Hall, our fire department, and anyone else I may have forgotten, Lord. We're all part of a team that work together, and we can only do what we do if we are working together. I just want to thank you for all of your grace and appreciate your allowing us to come before you tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. Roll call, please. I'm here.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Sampson. Here. Councilmember Shepherd. Here. Councilmember Tinlin. Here. That's a quorum, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Would anyone like to approve our agenda?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
Yes.
Mayor Milan.
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Tinlin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've approved our agenda. We'll move on to the next item, which is public comment for items that are on the agenda. If you're in the audience this evening and you'd like to speak for anything that is on the agenda, we ask that you come to the podium, state your name and your address, and we will allot you 3 minutes. Not seeing anyone come forward, we will close public comment for items on the agenda and move on to item number 7, which is proclamations and presentations. The first thing we have this evening is a proclamation for Family Court Awareness Month. Whereas the mission of the Family Court Awareness Month Committee is to increase awareness of the importance of a family court system that prioritizes child safety and acts in the best interest of children. And whereas the mission at the FCAMC is fueled by the desire to create awareness and change in the family court system for the conservatively estimated 58,000 children a year ordered into unsupervised contact with abusive parents, while honoring the hundreds of children who have been reported as murdered during visitation with a dangerous parent. And whereas the mission of the FCAMC is to increase awareness on the importance of empirically based education and training on domestic violence and child abuse, including emotional, psychological, physical, and sexual abuse, as well as childhood trauma, coercive control, and post-separation abuse for judges and all professionals working on cases within the family court system. And whereas the mission of the FCAMC is to increase awareness on the importance of using scientifically valid, evidence-based treatment programs and services that are proven in terms of safety, effectiveness, and therapeutic value. And whereas the mission at the FCAMC is to educate judges and other family court professionals on evidence-based, peer-reviewed research, such research is a critical component to making decisions that are truly in the best interest of children. This research includes the Adverse Childhood Experience study, co-principal investigator Vincent Felitti, Kaiser Permanente, CDC, child custody evaluators' beliefs about domestic abuse allegations, principal investigator Daniel Saunders, University of Michigan, sponsored by the National Institute of Justice, and child custody outcomes in cases involving parental alienation and abuse allegations, principal investigator Joan S. Meyer, George Washington University Law School, sponsored by the National Institute of Justice. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Paula Milan, Mayor of Clawson, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as Family Court Awareness Month in the city of Clawson. And we encourage all residents to support their local community efforts to prevent the harm of children in the hands of family members and to honor and value the lives of children. Thank you. That's such a heavy one. Next up is a presentation by Chief Bouse regarding a ticket amnesty program. Chief Bouse.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. I asked to speak today regarding our parking ticket amnesty program. This is a new program that we're holding. It started this Monday, November 6th, and it's just going to be for 2 weeks. And we are going to be waiving late fees for any parking tickets that are out there. So looking to collect on several outstanding parking tickets. So we're allowing residents to come in between November 6th and November 17th to the Clawson Police Department to pay any tickets that are outstanding. They can just pay the original fee and we'll waive the late fees on these tickets. So they either need to pay in person at the Clawson Police Department records window, or they can mail in the violation to us just with the original cost and not the fee. The only tickets that would not qualify for this program are citations that have already been sent up to our 52-4 district court for collection. So in some situations, if there is a citizen that's received multiple tickets within a certain period of time, we turn those into a civil infraction that gets sent to our district court for collection. So those would not qualify for this program.
How many outstanding tickets you got?
Well over $50,000.
Really? Wow.
That's including late fees?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is including late fees.
Right? Any other questions?
I guess what percentage of the 50,000 is the base fine and how much is the late fees, would you say?
I'm not sure, actually. Our previous finance director, Kelly Rao, was originally assisting me with putting together this program and had those exact numbers. So I'm not sure, to be honest, on that.
Anything else? Thank you, Chief Bouse.
Thank you.
Next, we have consideration of approving the following consent agenda. Item A is minutes of the regular city council meeting held on Tuesday, October 17th, 2023, as presented. Item B is a list of bills in the amount of $656,572.98.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you.
Mayor Milan,
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson,
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd,
Yes.
Councilmember Tinlin,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're moving right along. We're at item 9, under new business. First item is consideration of approving the addendum to the final agreement for July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2028 with the AFSCME, AFL-CIO, and Local 574 Chapter B employees.
So
Mr.
moved.
Rager. Yeah, thank you.
Support.
Thanks. Yes.
The city of Clawson and AFSCME, AFL-CIO, and the Chapter B Local 574 employees have agreed on an addendum to the final agreement for July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2028. The union has ratified this addendum agreement. The addendum addresses the adoption of the federal holiday schedule, the increase to $200 for employee VEBA Section 125 health savings accounts, and the addition of a flat base rate of $50 per week for an employee to be in an emergency on-call status. With the adoption of the federal holiday schedules, our employees will receive 11 paid federal holidays, which no longer includes Christmas and New Year's Eves. However, the tradition of city offices being closed on those days will still be honored, with employees electing to not be paid, use vacation days, or use personal business days. Pending your questions.
Okay, no questions, and roll call, please.
Councilmember Sampson,
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd,
Yes.
Councilmember Tinlin,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson,
Yes.
Mayor Milan.
Yes. So we have approved the addendums to the final agreement for the aforementioned union employees. Move on to item number B, which is consideration of the solicitation of public comments and consideration on the 2024 program year community development block grant application. Motion?
Need to open.
Oh,
the
yeah, sorry.
public hearing.
I hereby open the public hearing. Would anyone like to speak on community development block grant for the upcoming year? Seeing no one come forward, I will close the public hearing.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. Nick, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, I can give the report from the packet. The Community Development Block Grant is grant funded through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to keep communities sound, attractive, and economically viable. The city of Clawson is a subrecipient of Oakland County, who administers the grant to a majority of municipalities in Oakland County. The program strengthens neighborhoods by supporting local revitalization, home improvement, and public services for senior citizens, low-income persons and families, disadvantaged youth, and disabled residents throughout most of Oakland County. The county requires all participating communities to attend a yearly CDBG workshop, which was held on September 6, 2023 this year. For program year 2024, the city of Clawson has been instructed to use $34,192 as our planning allocation for the upcoming projects. As part of the program, we are required to utilize a minimum of $3,500 for public services. Historically, the city has dedicated that funding for Haven via a county executed and administered contract. Haven provides services for domestic violence victims. It is recommended to continue funding this program as they continue to serve Clawson residents. The projected leftover allocation of our total grant would be $30,692. After consultation with the DPW and engineering department, we are recommending that this funding be allocated toward a removal of architectural barriers project to retrofit existing sidewalk ramps and install truncated domes to meet current ADA standards at the intersection of Madison and South Custer. This intersection has a two-way stop along Madison, and there are also 9 ramps to cross the road. There's a visual of the intersection, including your packet, and staff is available for any questions. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you. This was our first reading, right?
This is just an approval. There's no
Yeah.
first reading.
Right, so then we just move on to the next item.
We can vote on it.
Pardon me?
We're gonna vote on it.
Oh, crap. I'm so sorry, my head is just not here. We will call a roll call, please.
Did we have the official motion?
I think there's
Yeah.
motion.
Yeah. Is it so
I
moved?
just said so moved. We didn't read anything, so I was just
No.
wondering what we were so moving.
It's the
So,
official one.
okay. So this is the
Solicitation.
approval of the as recommended by administration. Okay. Councilmember Shepherd,
Yes.
Councilmember Tinlin,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson,
Yes.
Mayor Milan,
Yes,
Councilmember Sampson.
thank you. Moving on to item 9C, which is consideration of the interlocal agreement between the city of Clawson and the city of Madison Heights for use of gun range.
So moved.
Support.
Ms. Ricker.
Yes, ma'am. The Clawson Police Department has utilized the Madison Heights Police Department gun range for annual firearms training for over 20 years. We've had a great working relationship with them and wish to continue this relationship moving forward. Chief Baus met with the Madison Heights Police Chief Lee Maries, as well as Clawson City Attorney Rennis Nushai regarding this agreement, and the attached document has been drafted between all parties. The fee of $500 annually has been agreed upon for the use of the facility. I respectfully request the approval of the attached interlocal agreement for use of the Madison Heights Police Gun Range between the city of Madison Heights and the city of Clawson.
Any questions? Questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Tinlin,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson,
Yes.
Mayor Milan,
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson,
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Thank
Agreed.
you. Wonderful, we've approved the interlocal agreement. Now we'll move on to consideration of appointment of Stephen Traxel to the Parks and Recreation Board for an expired term, May 1st, 2022 to expire May 1, 2024.
Madam Mayor, I move the appointment of Stephen Traxel to the Parks and Recreation Board to expire term of May 1st, 2022, term to expire May 1st, 2024 be approved.
Support.
Any conversation? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson,
Yes.
Mayor Milan,
Yes,
Councilmember Sampson,
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Tinlin.
Yes.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome, Stephen Traxel to the Parks and Recreation Board. We are on item 10 already. Do we have any old unfinished business? Good answer. We'll move to number 11, which is public comments for items not on the agenda. If you're here this evening and you'd like to speak for an item that's not on our agenda, please make it way to the podium.
Good evening. I'm Char Larson with the Clausen Chamber of Commerce, and I wanted to remind everybody that tomorrow at S4, which is right next to Twyford, we are having our wine and whiskey event. Whiskey Taco Foxtrot will be catering it and providing all the liquor. There's going to be 4 tastings of whiskey, 4 tastings of wine, and 2 mixed drinks. And I understand the appetizers are very, very good. So if any of you haven't signed up and you want to come, we invite you to be there. I think it will be a great event. We have 6 great raffle baskets. 2 of them are all about Clausen. So I think that's a good thing. And so please, I will even waive the extra fee because if you decide to come, it would now be $75 at the door. I'll give it to you for $65. So if you're interested, please come. The other thing I wanted to talk about is on November 20th, we're having the tree lighting ceremony. And in the past, the Clausen Troy Optimist Group always put on the cookies and hot chocolate. And last year, the chamber actually did a craft table for the kids. We had been asked if we would participate this year. So the chamber is going to take full responsibility for the cookies and the hot chocolate and the crafts. And so we invite everybody to come and we're really excited. If anybody wants to come and help volunteer, we'll be glad to have you. And interesting, I called Parks and Rec today to just firm up everything with them. And the first thing I heard from Lisa Ball was, "You're working for us? You're working for us?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "You're volunteering for the White Elephant, aren't you?" I go, I didn't call about that. She goes, "We are desperate for volunteers. And it's this Saturday. It's from 9 to 3. My first question was, I can't freeze like I have in the past for the Christmas craft show. And I said, as long as I'll be warm, I will come. And she said, yes, she'll be in the gym. A lot of good things, a lot of baked goods, and it's to support the senior center. So please, if anybody has time, you don't have to be there the whole 9 to 3, but they will be glad to have anybody. And if you know young children, they'd like to come and maybe get their credits for school, please have them come. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Shar.
Got to figure out how to use this thing. My name is Ron McCauley, 1008 West Selfridge, Clausen, Michigan. I got a request from a neighbor, Linda Hale, to request, and this is her message. I am here to request that the city consider the purchase of Sham Elementary School and incorporate the building and the grounds into part of the city park. We currently have Hunter, a building in disrepair that could be used to offset the cost of purchasing Sham. And we could utilize Sham as the Clausen Community Recreation and Senior Center. The school district also uses Sham parking for team sporting events, and does the city does the city for major events at the park, such as Clausen 4th of July. Without that property, I'm afraid we will be in real trouble with parking. There are new houses being built in the area of Hunter, and I'm sure the builder would love to purchase that land. We believe that saving Sham as part of the park and city-owned area makes much more sense. We would also like this proposal to go to the school district immediately, as they are gathering bids, and the bids are gathering are to tear down the building. We would also like this proposal to go to the city immediately, as they are out getting bids which will come in on the 13th. We believe that this would make a much better footprint for the residents. I'm sure the school board wants to also do that, is what is best for the city, the small city that works together, and we want that best for both. Thank you for your prompt consideration. That's all I have.
Thank you. You did a great job with that message.
Good evening. My name is Ginny Sham. I live at 1046 West Selfridge Boulevard, Clawson, Michigan, and this is my leader dog, Karma. I am here to say that a couple of years ago, year and a half, something like that, I made the same proposal that Ron and Leonard just made. That is the best thing for the city, to have the park and the school all 3 blocks of stuff. It's be all in the one place. It'll be easy, convenient, and that kind of thing. If money is a problem, we could do a bond issue and a special election to do that. That's the scuttlebutt around town, to have the park take the school. Thank you. I hope that you consider this seriously, because this is really what's best for our city. When I proposed it before, I got a brick wall in front of me. So please don't do that. Consider it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Okay, we'll move on then to the city clerk's report. Mr. Gitschuk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As you all know, yesterday was the city general election. Everything went very smooth on the administrative end here at City Hall. All of our precincts balanced, and we had a turnout of about 29%, which is down slightly from 32% in November of 2021. I want to thank Michelle Cuckoo, all my election workers, especially my 5 chairs. There's one in the back. They did a great job. Everyone was back here before 9 o'clock yesterday, which is very efficient. You may have noticed the election results weren't as posted as efficiently. They were about 90 minutes later than you're used to. All of our results were transmitted by 8:40. The problem was at the county end. And as a result of having to wait for them to accept the results, I had to modem them up again a second time, which it took. We trained for that and it worked pretty smooth when we did the FTP site. And I was lucky. Other cities didn't have that. It didn't work for them that way. And they had to literally drive the results up to Pontiac. So we did get it done though. Election law now allows for 3 additional days for postmarked overseas ballots to arrive and for AV ballots with bad signatures to be cured. This means that ballots can still be tabulated as late as next Tuesday, given the Veterans Day holiday. Because the county certifies the entire election at once, we were told not to expect any certification of the election until November 17th. That came in an email this morning. The next scheduled election that we have is a presidential primary, which will be on February 27th. Lastly, the Charter Commission will be hosting, which should be its final meeting next Tuesday, the 14th, which time they will discuss giving mayor and council a final report, which will include some recommendations and timetables as a result of the new charter that passed yesterday. So, anyone have any questions? I would like to thank all the candidates. This was one of the smoothest elections I've ever run with candidates. I never had to chase anyone out from inside the 100-foot line for the first time in a long time. So thank you for that.
I do have one question. If there were ballots that were improper, if the signatures were wrong or something, how do they find them? And then how does that get rectified?
In our
I'm saying
case-
there's gonna be many, there's probably always a few, but.
We had about 7 that came in unsigned with no signature at all. And we are required to use every means necessary, find phone numbers, emails, and contact them. We contacted all of our people. Other cities, if they don't have a signature, the idea is they were maybe out of town. That's why they got an AV ballot. So they have 3 days after the election to come in and fix that if they come home and can change it. This was part of 22-2, proposal 22-2 that was voted on by the people to have this, what they call it, the signature cure. It's interesting, but it also makes it difficult for communities that have immediate effect elections to be able to certify right away. And Oakland County knew this. Joe Rozelle fought this, said when you're implementing the rules, you need to keep this in mind. So we brought it up to our lobbyists as clerks, and the legislature did not take it into account.
How did the early voting go?
Slow. It went slow. I counted 19 votes. I did not get a full report from Troy yet and from the county. I'm expecting that to come with the certification. We also didn't expect, we had some of our workers worked up there and they said it was very slow, but the technology was very interesting and they see how the future is going. It was vote on demand. So you came in and you gave your ID, you checked in to vote, and they printed your ballot there on the spot instead of having stacks of ballots to pick from. And it worked very efficiently.
What does that mean? They printed it on demand, like it would be this, it would be the same as getting an absentee ballot?
No. There's no
Oh, they
pre-printed
don't
ballots
have anything
there.
ready, like.
They have a
come and
new
stick it in an
machine.
Envelope and pass it
Yeah,
off.
it's
to
a
you.
new machine
Got it.
that never existed that prints, that they just got for this, to start implementing next year.
But you said you think there were 19.
Yeah, I did not get a report yet on how many people turned out from Clausen.
Well, then how do we know? Just seems like that would be, you have your AV numbers, you have your in-person numbers, you think you'd have that number too. I'm just curious.
Yes, I'm expecting that report. I did not get that report because Troy submitted our results.
But when you did your totals, where do those numbers get factored in? Because they have. to
The
get
county
factored in.
factors them in. I did not factor them in.
But you sent numbers, I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm just trying to
No,
understand this.
I didn't.
You sent numbers in, right? You
Yes.
upload numbers. So you had so many numbers and then that number is still out there unknown until they certify all of the numbers.
Until Troy uploaded it at some point and the county pushed it.
But does the county then send you the numbers?
That's what I'm expecting. They haven't yet. I'm waiting for a report from the county on the early voting.
Well, when do you anticipate they'll send you that? Because that's kind of interesting that it's an unknown and they're actual votes that are unknown, right?
The votes aren't unknown. We know the vote totals. I just,
You know the vote totals and you know how many votes there were.
we know how many votes there were. We don't know how many voters there were. It's two different things.
Okay.
If 19 people voted for mayor, but only 12 voted for the charter, and then there was a whole bunch of votes for council, you never know exactly how many voters there were. You don't have to vote for everything on the ballot.
We understand that.
Yeah, so I still have a canvas of exactly how many voters we had from Clausen yet. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
What are we, you said the 17th they certified by?
That's what they told us in an email.
What are we gonna do with our 15th organizational meeting? Because part of it's that part. You read the certified.
We're kind of handcuffed.
So if I may, Mayor, so staff had discussed this possibility that we would host a 7 PM organizational meeting in advance of the next city council meeting as a potential cure for the situation.
But then I thought about this. The organizational meeting is supposed to be a little special, right? Like, so then if we do organizational meeting and then do meeting, not that it matters, but it might matter to some people who've not done this before. It seems kind of anticlimactic that you had an organizational meeting and then you just go into a regular meeting. Does that make sense?
No,
Or am I being a
I
girl?
understand.
Being a girl, right?
I understand, I understand. I believe in, giving things meaning and purpose.
Mm.
And if there's a way that we can mitigate that, we'll do that. But on its face right now, that was the initial suggestion, but we'll regroup and see if we can come up with a better solution, pending the communication from the county.
We just don't, there's no time, right? Like we're on a schedule, like we have to get people in before that.
They
meeting.
basically said they won't have it in time for Monday.
Okay.
They committed to that.
They did. They put it in writing. They will not have it on Monday. We had all of our signature cures done. We told them we have nothing to wait for here. So just do us. And they said, nope, we only do the whole county at once.
Okay.
So.
Any other questions? Is this a fun topic? No? Okay. well,
What's
thank
our
you.
attorney think of this?
It presents the most interesting legal issues, what I was thinking actually, but
It
I
does.
guess we're gonna bypass it nonetheless. The charter obviously speaks differently, but in this case, we'll have to navigate because the county, technically the decision will trump it, obviously, because we won't be able to, if there's no certification of the election, the charter by operation sort of falls mute. It's an interesting legal issue, though. So in order to give meaning to the election and the totals, we'll be sort of forced to violate our charter. Well, at least as it stood as of last night.
Are we the only community in that situation? like
I presume not.
Nope.
Yeah, it depends on what the charter of each specific community, but I can think of at least one on top of my head that would have the same problem. No,
It was a problem that we kind of saw coming. But the legislature enacted this anyway.
I mean, it's not crushing, right? We can do what you proposed and do it that way. It's just anticlimactic, that's all.
Yeah.
I believe there should be a little pump for people just for fun. But you guys will do what's best.
We'll
right?
come up with some type
Yeah.
of ceremony and pageantry.
Good, and cake.
We'll do.
Always cake. Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Gitschlag. City Attorney appointment, Mr. Nushan.
nothing for this evening, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to our city managers. Oh, wait, does anyone have any questions for our city attorney? Because he doesn't have anything for us, doesn't mean you don't have anything for him. No? Okay, city managers report, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Saturday, November 11th is Veterans Day and is also Christmas in Clawson, which is a large regional draw. Our city parking lot and the post office parking lot, which is also the city's, will be closed for the application of the spray patch, which we are using to improve these lots. The timing is not ideal, but as Saturday is a federal holiday, the post office is closed and hence the only time to conduct this maintenance. The contractor will work diligently in an effort to open the city lot up later that morning. The administration apologizes in advance for this temporary inconvenience. With the adoption of the addendum for AFSCME, we are closed. The city offices will be closed tomorrow. To our residents that have suggested potential land swaps, I want to assure you that the school district superintendent Billy Schellenbarger and I are considering all options and anticipate facilitating a broader discussion with our respective boards and perhaps jointly with our respective boards in the near future. Any questions? That's my report.
So saying that, it would have to be near future, right? Because they're accepting their bid, they're
Accepting the bids doesn't mean that they have to necessarily act on it.
Okay,
So, I mean, to manage everyone's expectations, we're having discussions. It's not to say that any one of them is going to get traction.
right.
But I've been interested since I've arrived here and working with the school district more closely. So, we both believe that there are opportunities. We just need to pursue them and get them out for public's consideration and our elected body's consideration.
Okay, fair. Any other questions for our city manager? Okay, then we'll move on to city council comments. Councilmember Shepherd,
None tonight. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson,
No comments.
Councilmember Sampson,
Keep it, no comment.
okay, and Councilmember Timmons.
That's gonna hurt.
Pardon me?
Go ahead.
Why, can I have a comment or not? Well, I wasn't gonna have any comments, but I'm not sure how all the organizational meetings, so I'm not sure if this is my last time. So I just want to thank the body that allowed me to serve since January. Really appreciate it. It's been a great honor to serve and been a great challenge as well. So I do appreciate this current sitting body for giving me a chance to serve the community. So that's probably my last comment then for a while.
Did you have something for us?
Me? I
Yes.
said no.
Oh, well, then you started to speak, so I thought that meant yes. So sorry, just wanted to make sure you had full opportunity. I would like to remind everyone that Saturday in Clawson is going to be a super busy day. We've already heard about the White Elephant Sale at the Senior Center. And there is the Christmas in Clawson. And then there's also a book sale at the Blair Memorial Library. I think the hours are 10 to 4. Don't hold me to it. Check online. They have used books and looking forward to seeing you there. So make sure you get out Saturday and do all of those fun things. I would just like to say it's been an absolute honor to work with you, Mr. Timlin, Councilmember Timlin, and Councilmember Sampson. You've challenged me on some days, but most of the time I enjoyed you too. And we will have an opportunity to do this one more time, I guess, when we do our next meeting. But I just want to say thank you to everyone for getting out to vote. I know voting went great for some people and not the way that other people wanted, but thank you to the residents of Clawson for sharing your thoughts and your ideas and letting us all know what's important to you. We're all going to do our best to live up to that standard and your expectations and work forward, moving forward in a positive pleasant manner, and hopefully you'll see things that you enjoy. But it's an honor to be able to serve this community, and I just want to tell you all, thank you for that. So with that, I will ask for a motion.
Support.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Milan,
Yes, please.
Councilmember Sampson,
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Tinlin,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
It
Is it almost record?
might be.
Okay, you have a compliment about flower.
Pardon me?
Still can't give a compliment about flower.
It wasn't, it was fun.
Oh,
Mr. Sampson, you're delusional.